Battleyolk. This is the alpha test of the Battleyolk rulebook by Sky Hernstrom and Brian Renninger. Going to clean up some messes that we made in our initial playthrough. There's a few things that I got wrong. Here's our roster. You have to start making checks during the mindfulness phase of the game when... Oh, I think I got these backwards. I did. This is the heat. The big boys, here's Fimp, and we'll take a look at each of these individually. They can handle 4 heat. When they have 4 heat, they have to start making checks in the mindfulness phase. It's not when they exceed that. They roll on a chart, and for every heat above whatever this number is here, after I fix it, they have to add that to the roll, which makes it much more likely that they go kersplat. Today's fight pits the Rhode Island Reds against the Sons of Easter. The Rhode Island Reds are wearing the white uniforms, and you can see this is Fimp. He's got 2 missile pods, 2 chain guns, and he's got anime missiles. Now, each of these missile pods holds 10 missiles. He can fire a salvo of 3 missiles. It's called anime missiles, and you make 3 attacks. You're at -1 on each of those attacks. That's basically what shifting up 1 range band means. But 3 attacks in 1 shot, not too bad, not too shabby. Broom is the medium meg for the Rhode Island Reds. He's got a cannon, a fragmentation cannon, and a chain gun with old world craftsmanship. After rolling a misfire result, and I forgot this last time, we'll try to remember today, on a misfire, he has a 5-up save that he doesn't misfire at all. The little guy on this side of the ledger is going to be Jalapeno. See, he's got a little flamethrower right there. And I can show you what his stats are. If I just grab the right page, there we go. Here's what Jalapeno looks like. Here's what it's imagined in the rule book, and here's my take on Jalapeno. You can see I've swapped hands. Mine is actually a right-handed flamethrower. He's got the chain gun. He is jump capable. He also has jugs, so he gets 5 shots with the flamethrower instead of just 3. Probably should have modeled some jugs on the back here. Might have been nice. On the other side of the field, we're going to see Shiner. He's got the biggest gun in the game. And Shiner looks like this in the rulebook. He has 2 energy cannons, 1 frag cannon, a chain gun, and he is a lover, not a fighter. In melee, he only hits on a 5 or 6. So despite being a lover, he's not very good at giving hugs. For the medium meg, we're going to see this guy. This is, where's my other page? There it is. Troubadour. Now, unfortunately, I have 2 troubadours and 2 brooms. I probably should just repaint this one white because the game only comes with 2 medium megs, troubadour and broom. So unfortunately, it's always going to be green. I got 2, but in 2 different suits. Let's do 2 mediums and a large against 2 mediums and 3 small. That would be a fun thing. You gotta kind of balance it the way you like. I, of course, rolled at random, and the troubadour here has a cannon, 2 chain guns. He is jump capable, and he has +2 to his movement because he's wearing the latest Air Jordans. The small guy on this side, this is what he looks like, and he is called a cuss. And there's two little cusses. One of them is the FL, and one of them is the FR, I should say. And as you can see, they're easily distinguished by the fact that they have the exact same loadout. They both have flamethrowers, chain guns, they're both jump capable, and they're both out of warranty. That means with this guy, every time I try to move him, I gotta roll a d6. And on a result of a 6, he isn't gonna be able to move. His pilot is busy trying to kick in the auxiliary systems. He's trying to reset the hyperdrive motivator, something like that. All right, we're good. That's the guys. I definitely wanted to show you the artwork because it's a lot of fun. The game does not take itself too seriously, but it's important to notice that the pilots that are driving these adorable little egg-shaped things do take it seriously. This is their life on the line, and so we have to pay them honor and tribute even as we... And that's the real secret here to these kind of games. If you try to take it too wacky, it loses all pathos. And one of the things that I love about Sky Hernstrom's writing is that he's able to bridge that gap and create a sense of real import, even as we are using this slightly tongue-in-cheek. And it does harken back, I think, to the earliest days of even something like Laserburn or Warhammer 40K, where it didn't take itself too seriously, and it allowed for things that allowed you to, gave you just that little bit of distance that made the games work and just feel more like real life, even though they're just toy soldiers. Anyway, I'm just going to throw some terrain out. See, I got the jungle terrain back up. I'm just the hills now. I'm going to do something a little different with the hills. These hills block line of sight for the little guys, and they count as cover. Let's see. I guess the question is, do they block line of sight for the medium guys? These are low hills. Yeah, that's exactly what they do. The big boys can see and be seen across the hill, but they will be in cover, so we'll shift the range band up if you're taking a shot across the hill. Here's our table from a bird's eye view. The Rhode Island Reds have decided to put their big boys on their left flank, little guy on the right, and matching suit, we've got the big guy and little guy for the Sons of Easter with the medium guy. So if medium can take out small, then he'll be able to sweep in and they can clean up these last two guys. We just need these two to do enough damage and to hold them off. That's at least kind of the strategy, such as it is. Rolling to see who has to move first. And with a result of a 4 for the green, they're going to move first, and it's alternating movement. So green says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bring my medium over here, and then the reds will bring Fimp up straight. At the end of movement, table looks like this. Hard to make out because Cuss FL is hiding behind this bush over here. He rolled a 5 for movement. Jalapeno rolled a 2. So they were both able to get into position. The only real shot we have at this point is Shiner taking a shot over here at Jalapeno. He's not going to do that. Oh, look, we have some appropriate ambiance from the barnyard today. How lovely. And he's not going to do that because he's only going to be hitting on a 6. The energy cannon has the range, but he's going to have to be shifted up 1 because he's firing at a small unit. And he doesn't want to risk the misfire, at least at this point. We're going to take a little more time today. We're going to go a little slower. We're not going to risk all that heat building up. That's it for round 1. So we roll for initiative for round 2. And on round 2, green gets to go first. Bit of a chess match going on here. I won't bore you. Oh, I forgot to roll for this guy. With a 5, he's able to move. What about Jalapeno? We roll a 2, he's able to move. These aren't weighted dice, I promise. I won't bore you with all of the back and forth, but basically, Fimp jumped up on top of the hill, which gave green, well, actually, green went first, right? So we just brought Troubadour out. Fimp jumps up on top of the hill, and that allows for Cuss and Shiner to trade places. Now, Shiner, you can't really see him. I mean, you can if I just move the camera. See him hiding there behind that bush? He is now going to be in cover, and he's shooting at a Fimp who is not in cover at all. Likewise, Jalapeno down here is in cover, taking a shot at Troubadour. The question is going to be, how far apart are these guys? They're just over 7 inches, meaning that the chain gun is, he's just out of range. He's just out of range. Jalapeno does not have a shot. His chain gun has a maximum range of 7. His flamethrower has a maximum range of 6. He may need to close that gap on the next turn. Too late now. Gotta check the rules. I wonder if you can pre-measure. I'm not sure. The other measurement we need to take is over here. Notice we are beyond 8 inches, but within 12. So the two big boys are going to be firing at each other. Let's handle those first. We'll just go back and forth. Obviously, Cuss down here, he doesn't have line of sight to anybody. The only guy that he could shoot is Fimp, but this bush is in the way. We're going to start with the big boys in the back shooting at each other, and in particular, I'm going to start with Fimp. Now, Fimp has that ability to launch anime missiles. He's going to take 3 shots, and they're all shifted up 1 range band. Now, so normally, given the distance, he's hitting on 5s. He's at extreme range. But he's shooting at a big boy, which means he's hitting on 4s, but the big boy is behind cover, so he's back to hitting on 5s, but he's shooting missiles which ignore cover, so we're back down to 4s, but because he's firing the 3 at a time, we go back up so that ultimately, after all of that, we are hitting on 5s. But I want to show you something before we go any further. I went ahead and just penciled in my hit die, right? So if I hit, this is the effect. This is the crit chart, and then I doctored the miss die a little bit. In the rules as written, a result of a 1 or a 2 is no result, It's weird. It goes in a strange order. I've put this together so that higher rolls are better on the miss die. If I miss, I'd rather have nothing happen. If something has to happen, I'd rather take heat than take a misfire, because a lot of those misfires are you hurt yourself and you take heat. So for me, when you roll that die, you want it to be high if it's affecting the enemy, and low, excuse me, high regardless, right? Whatever it is, if it's high, it's good. So you can just kind of tell at a glance. When we roll all three of these, now I should point out, I'm going to roll for all of them. I'm going to hold off on misfires until the very end, because the misfires take effect after all three of those missiles are in the air. Basically, that's how I'm rationalizing this. So to walk you through this one time, I hit, which means on the first missile, we look at the yellow die, and a 2 means we do average damage. We're not at point blank range, so we don't have to worry about the star. But then we take 1 heat. So we take 1 heat, and we do the average damage, which for that weapon system is going to be 8 points of damage. Wow, that's pretty good. If we hit with all three of those, Shiner's going to be hurting. So 8 points of damage to Shiner, and then we roll again. Now, the red die doesn't factor in unless we miss, which we did in this case. So with a miss, the miss die means that we have a misfire. Again, I'm going to roll for the third shot first. So we hit the second time, and this time with a 5 on the result, that's max damage, and we roll on the critical chart. Oh, if we're at point blank range, we roll on the critical chart. We're not at point blank range, don't need to worry about it. Maximum damage for the missile pods is 10 points of damage. That means we've done a total of 20 points to Shiner. He is left with just 12 hit points left. But we do need to look at the misfire phase, and the misfire is one of those missiles went awry, and it hits the closest model to the target. So we're going to have to measure. The distance to Broom is only about 10 inches, and the distance to Jalapeno, or not, this isn't Jalapeno, this is Cuss. Distance to Cuss is 12. That means we accidentally hit and do average damage to our friend. Little blue on blue action on Team Red. Isn't that awkward? Now, Broom has, at average damage, let me just double check this, averages 8 hit points. That leaves Broom with just 12 hit points remaining. Sorry about that. Now, to make matters worse, Shiner gets to return fire. And Shiner doesn't have to worry about the cover. He's firing at a big boy. He's going to be hitting on 4 or less. He's only going to fire 1 energy cannon because he just doesn't trust it. We can fire 2, but then we're hitting on 5s. We definitely want to hit on 4s, which we missed. With the result of a 3, we're just going to generate 1 heat. So I will drop a heat marker down, and we're going to be doing a pretty good job managing heat this turn. That's it for the big guys. Now for the medium guys, we do not have a line of sight here, but we do have trading shots here, and we do have, well, like I said, poor old Jalapeno is out of range. He's at about 7.5 inches. He needs to be within 7. So Broom and Troubadour are now going to trade shots as well. Remember, the results are all simultaneous. Okay, so if we do Broom first and he kills Troubadour, Troubadour still gets to return fire. All he has is his cannon firing at long range, meaning he's hitting on 5s. That's going to be a miss, and with a result of a 2, he's going to have a misfire, and a cannon on a misfire. I should check off the ammo first. So Broom has 15 shots. We're not going to play 15 turns, I doubt, but we'll cross it off just in case. The cannon goes off. The results of a misfire, and the cannon is jammed. Jam is cleared if the unit does not shoot during the next turn. So I'm going to mark that with a blue token to point out that he's going to have to pull back, clear the jam before he can get back stuck in. He's also going to have to suffer a shot from Troubadour, who has a cannon and 2 chain guns, but of course the chain guns have a maximum range of 7 inches. We're well beyond that. So likewise, same situation. With a 2 and a 3, we get no misfire, but that will generate 1 heat for the Troubadour. We drop a heat token down, and that's going to be the end of turn number 2. On turn number 3, we roll for initiative to see who has, mindfulness phase, everybody loses 1 heat. We'll pick these 3 up. I'm sure we're going to keep them handy. I'm sure we're going to use them again before too long. Bear in mind, Broom does have a frag cannon still. So the only thing that's jammed is his cannon. So he can still have some effect. I'm going to mark a little J on the roster sheet just to remind me which gun, because we're going all out, at least in this case. Remember, he's already half dead because he got shot in the back by his friend. So I mark a little J, and then when we clear the jam, we'll try to remember to erase that. We get a tie result on our initiative, so we re-roll, and we get a 5 and a 6. Green has to go first one more time. They're going to have to commit, and Shiner says, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm not going to move this turn. Which means Fimp can move. Now, he's in rough ground. I consider anywhere on the hill rough ground. He can only move 2 inches, but that 2 inches, I think that's just enough. Maybe he can trundle downhill just a little bit. We're going to bring him down there to bring him to safety. And, of course, we'll probably bring him out of the way. So now, once again, Green has a difficult choice to make. What do we want to do? Do we want to jump in to here and go toe-to-toe? 12 inches, of course, is too far. I think maybe we'll bring him running. Well, if we roll a 6, he's not going anywhere. On a 1, he can move, and he can move up to 10 inches. So I think I moved him too far last time. Yeah, he can move 10 inches. So he turns, and then 10 inches will put him right about there, and he can turn one more time. So he's safe from Fimp, and he's got this whole area covered. Now it's time for Troubadour. And the thing is, the guys in white really want the Sons of Easter to go first, because we need to know where they wind up so we can line up a killer shot. I think we'll do the same thing. I think we'll bring, he's damaged. We could also make a melee attack. I don't like that plan, though. I think we're going to move him. He does have cleats, so we can move him 8 inches. We can bring him 8 to here, but he's going to turn around and face like this direction, so he can cover this whole area. So anywhere within 7 inches is going to be subject to his frag cannon, and that does force Broom to commit. And Broom says, I'm game, buddy. I've got. Oh boy, the problem he has is if he moves to contact, Jalapeno can just jump away. Is he within 8 inches over here? Can we do some melee? I want to see. Yeah, he is. Except he's still in rough ground. So that means that's 1 inch, and then he's only got 7 inches of movement left. What do we do here? Does he have the range? He's got the cannon, which has everything range. So we can bring him over to here, which puts him out of the lane of fire for Fimp. But it does mean we're probably going to get roasted by Jalapeno on this turn. Yeah, Jalapeno's going to move up to point blank range and get ready to just cook him. There's no good options here, guys. We're going to start with Cuss. He's got the flamethrower. It only has a range of 4 inches, but 4 inches looks something like that, which means we are definitely within range. This is huge. It does 3 overheat to the target automatically. At medium range, we're only hitting on 4s, and with a 5, we're going to hit, and with a 3 for the effect, we're going to do average damage. We're not at point blank range. The average damage is not high. It's only 4 points of damage. So Broom still has 8 points of damage left to his name, and he does have that frag cannon, which is well within range of the little guy. So he's going to open fire with the frag cannon. The frag cannon has a range of 7, and it doesn't have it. Yeah, we got to check. Yep. Sorry, it's got a range. It's got a maximum range of 3. Oh, I was looking at that wrong. The average damage is. Well, that's not where we wanted to stop then. We wanted to stop within 3 inches of this guy, which means that hit would still have been a hit, and then we do the frag cannon, and I know I'm kind of being cheap here. But the frag cannon does miss, and it causes a misfire. That's the price of, oops, can we retcon that? And a misfire on the frag cannon is jammed. Okay, so there's something going on. I think the ammo was provided by Schindler Incorporated. He is now completely out of weapons, and he's going to have to run away next turn. But I don't know how he's going to do that because, boy, he's in trouble. But speaking of in trouble, Jalapeno has got his gun in the back of, who is that? Broom? No, Troubadour. Things are getting spicy with Jalapeno lighting up Troubadour with his flamethrower. First of 3 shots. At point blank range, he hits on a 2 or better, and he automatically does 3 overheat. Triple ones can't be good for Jalapeno. Not only does he miss, but he has a misfire. And the misfire for a flamethrower is apply max damage to the attacker and mark all ammo expended. Add 3 overheat counters to the attacker. So no more flamethrower for you. This is the price of back shooting, apparently. Before the heat takes place, Troubadour gets to take a shot at Broom, and he's got a cannon and 2 chain guns. The chain guns are out of range. The cannon is not. We are at long range. Let's just roll first. We get a 6, which is an automatic hit. We get a low damage effect, so we do average. We just do half of the average with his cannon. Half of average is going to be 4 more points of damage, and that means that Broom still has 4 points of damage left. So we are accurate, but we're not very deadly. And that, I think, is going to be the end of the turn. The end of the phase. We don't have any melee, but we do have some stuff to take care of. We have to do, let me check one thing. The order of operations is important here. Everybody removes 1 overheat counter first. Then check to see if you are at or above your limit. The only unit that is poor old Jalapeno down here. They can hold 2 heat, but they have to check at 2. So we have to roll to find out what happens to it. And with a result of a 2, checking on this is the, what is it called? System failure roll. Lower is better. On a 1, 2, or 3, no result. So he's fine for now. If he still had that third one, we would have added 1 to the die roll. That would be a 3. He would still be fine. 1, 2, or 3, you're okay. 4, 5, 6s, you're in trouble. That's the end of the turn. So we roll for initiative for the following turn, and we get a tie. So we re-roll, and this time white must go first. White's got to commit. So Fimp is going to move 4 inches to there, and he now covers a pretty big swath of the battlefield. That forces green to commit to something. Cuss is going to leap to right there. So he's got a shot. Now that does earn him an overheat, but he now is safely behind Fimp's forward firing arc. At the end of movement, Troubadour runs away. Shiner realizes he has to stop hiding. He's got to get involved. So he starts to lumber his way around the jungle. And then you can see over here on this side, we got a whole bunch of back shooting going on. It's like the meme in the church. He's shooting him. He's shooting him. He's shooting him. It's going to be a regular cluster, but it's going to be fun. We're going to start here, and we'll work our way backwards. So Cuss has the flamethrower and the chain gun, and he hits on a 2 or better. He might as well fire them all. You get a 1 range band shift up because you're shooting at a big boy, and 1 range band shift down because you're shooting everything, which means you're still hitting on everything but a 2. We'll start with a chain gun. The 1 is a miss. The 4 is an overheat counter. Bear in mind, I am declaring my actions. Declare everything that you shoot. You can't take the first shot and then go, well, I guess I'll stop here. Nope. You said you're using the flamethrower. You're using the flamethrower. The 4 will be a hit. The 6 will be a critical. And the 5 will be pilot killed. What an effective shot by, wait a minute. Is that Jalapeno? No, that's Cuss. Okay, Jalapeno doesn't have his flamethrower anymore. So Cuss is hot, but he kills the pilot of Fimp here. And I'm going to lay Fimp down. He's not It's still here. You can still hit him. And you might want to do that, because if you can do damage to Fimp and cause a core reactor, that could blow up, and that could be enough to kill all of the Megs that are around him. And as I look at this, I was thinking, I have a game that I've never been able to play because I didn't have the right miniatures. Once you have your full selection of Megs, you can play a game of Battlesuit Alpha. We may have to break this out once we've fully explored Battleyolk, or while we're waiting for the full, hardcover, glossy, leather bound with the gold trim version of Battleyolk, just to kind of keep our battlesuit muscles firm. Alternatively, if you already have miniatures suitable for Battlesuit Alpha or some lesser mech game where you're doing battles with mechs from companies that are a lot more lame than Wily Games, you could use those miniatures for this. You don't have to use Megs. I highly recommend it. Megs are pretty cool. Anyway, that's only the first shot. Boy, is the driver of Cuss feeling pretty good about himself, except his radar is pinging because Jalapeno, he might be out of ammo with a flamethrower, but he does still have that chain gun ready to go, and he is going to be firing at short range, which means he is hitting on 3s or better. He's a pretty quick guy. Oh, I don't think I rolled for movement for these guys, did I? 3 means a hit. 5 means we do max damage. We are not at point blank range. If we were, then that would be critical. So maximum damage with the chain gun is going to do a total of 6 damage to Jalapeno, leaving him with 2 hit points left. And plenty of ammo to get some vengeance of his own. Then the last thing that's going to happen is Troubadour is going to take a shot. Oh, now that I think about it, when you're firing at little Megs, you have a -1 shift. That might have been a miss. He might have been hitting on 4s or better. Oh well, too late now. Only way out is through. We roll a 3, so again, see, this is me being laid low. I'm getting a little cocky, moving a little too fast. Troubadour has the cannon, and he's got 2 chain guns. He's firing with the cannon, and that means at short range he's hitting on 3 or better, but because he's firing at the little guy, he needs a 4 or better. Unfortunately, he is going to miss, and the 6 means the miss, nothing really happens there. So that's it for firing. We take care of our mindfulness. Everybody loses 1 overheat counter. And because he didn't fire, see, here's old Broom way over there. He loses his jam. Neither of his weapons are jammed now. Everybody is under their heat threshold, so we go right to movement. And with a 3, the white guys have to move first. Not him, he's dead. You have to commit. So we're going to move Broom back into position. Having lost their big boy is a real problem for them, isn't it? Now green is going to go, and we're going to go basically 3 inches to line up a shot. Maybe we stay in cover a little bit so we can take a shot at this guy without getting, we need the extra range band to keep ourselves safe. Now he has to commit, and we could, Jalapeno has jump, and his chain gun is still operational. He can only jump 10 inches, but that would put him right about there. Bonk. Which means he'll be able to get a little shot off here, and that's really about the only thing he can do. It's the only way he's going to have, let me raise this up so you can see exactly where he's standing. It's the only way he's going to have any guarantee at a shot, even though that means he's going to wind up with this guy. Now, bear in mind, running through the broken ground, you move at half speed. So that's going to cost 8 inches of movement, and then 9, and then 10, we're going to move to right there, and we're all lined up for all of these shots. And what a group of shots it is. We have quite the circle of carnage with Broom firing at Troubadour. They're trading shots. Shiner has got a shot lined up on Troubadour, and then Cuss is shooting Shiner, and finally Jalapeno is shooting Cuss. We can't move any of those guys. They moved all of their maximum movement. Boy, we really have the ambiance today. It's so perfect. I love the branding of this game so much. Let's trade shots. Broom, Troubadour rather. This is Troubadour. Has no reason to save anything back. He's going to fire with his cannon, and then both of his chain guns. So the cannon is going to get a hit with a critical, and max plus all of his weapons are out. So no more shooting for you. So max damage for the cannon is going to be 8 points of damage, leaving... Oh, that actually kills him. Broom is gone. Wow. Now I still need to roll. So Broom goes down, but we have 2 more attacks. The first attack is going to be a... What are we hitting on? We're at medium range, so we're hitting on 4s. So that's a miss. And oh, I forgot to check the yellow die. So 2 misses. That's going to be a misfire. And the misfire with the chain gun is crazy. You have to roll... Boy, did I get that right? Yeah. Have the remaining ammo. So he had a full suite of 10 shots. I have to make 10 shots to hit now. And so what I'm going to do, and this is going to be really important because it's going to be a little crazy. I'm going to roll for all of my 2 hit rolls first. We're going full Warhammer here. All right. I have to make these. This is the result of misfiring with a chain gun. And so we're still hitting on 4s. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to look and I'm going to say, okay, I got 1 hit altogether, which is crazy. Okay. So what's the result of that 1 hit? Well, let's find out. I'm going to roll to see what the effect is, and we did half damage. Okay, so that's going to be important. Now I have to roll for all of my misfires, for all of my missed dice. So for every 1 or 2, I get a misfire, which I think this is... Let me just check. This is crazy. It says runaway gun. These attacks hit on a 6, resolve as normal, mark all ammo expended, add 1 overheat counter to the attacker. Oh, okay. So basically, I just roll, and I think I need a little more guidance on this one. But if I understand correctly, I gain this. I make 10 more attacks that only hit on 6s. I didn't roll any 6s, so no more damage to him. That was important. Okay, so a couple of things. Just for the shooting, we're done. If you do additional damage to this figure, which may happen because we're going to fire a cannon at it, well, we're not actually at this point because he's dead. But if we had an ally nearby, we could take a second shot. So Fimp is on his feet now, just hypothetically speaking. If you can tag him a second time, he blows up, everybody takes damage. Now, we don't want to do that today because the only people that we might hurt are our buddies. And we don't want to hurt our buddies. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to skip right on over to Jalapeno, and he's going to make his attack on Shiner. He's going to hit with a critical, and a critical number 1 is simply max damage with the flamethrower. That is going to do 6 damage to Shiner, leaving poor old Shiner with just 6 hits left. But now, up on the hill, Cuss has the flamethrower, and he's going to roast him. At least he's going to try to. With the 3, he's hitting on 3s. Oh, he's shooting at a small guy, which means he's only hitting on 4s. Oh my goodness. That was the best he could do, though. So with the flamethrower, that's a miss, and the 3 means we're going to generate 1 heat. But the guy that we shot at still takes 3 heat. So we drop 3 on the target, leaving Jalapeno with 4 heat, and we take 1 ourselves. We didn't jump, we ran, so 1 is all that we have. That's going to end the shooting for the turn, and the last thing we have to do is pick up the overheat counters. We take off 1, 2, 3, and the only Meg that is in any danger of overheating is Jalapeno. Small Megs start checking when they have 2 heat tokens. Add a +1 for every additional token, meaning we're going to roll a d6, we're going to add 1. We get a result of a 5 reactor explosion. Unit is destroyed. Roll d6, 1 to 3 contained. The pilot ejected safely. For campaign games, that means that the game is over. By the way, on a 6th, the reactor goes critical. Nuclear detonation, there's a chance that some of these guys could get killed in that, but ultimately at the end of the game, the last man standing is going to be one of the Sons of Easter, and that will conclude this battle between two omelets. And I didn't even make a single joke about somebody getting scrambled. I think this is 2 episodes where I haven't made the obvious he got scrambled joke. Aren't you proud of me? I mean, or do I need to turn in my dad card? You tell me. In the meantime, fun game. I think I'm one over. I think I'm gonna have to here before too long throw the Wiley Games fistful of, look at that, a quick and easy set of war games rules for mecha battles. I look at that big guy. Little more traditional, the Battlesuit Alpha, but it's the fistful of lead game. I believe it's built on the same general. Yeah, let's take a look at that. I believe it's built on the same general, like, oh yeah, oh there's the suits of cards, right? So it's kind of the fistful of lead that we all know and love, but reskinned with a Plaz alloy armor shell. And, you know, if you don't want to drop the dosh for that, pick up a copy of Battleyolk. I don't know where. But by the time this goes live, I don't even know if the alpha test is going to be available. This is just kind of a sneak peek for Game of the Year 2026. Make sure you look for it at your local gaming store kind of towards the end of the year. And when the big game drops, we'll be playing a few more of these on the table. Until next time, I'm praying for you.